see you becoming a great captain of industry. Strong, ruthless. The vision fades. $10, please.
Oh. Into your life will come many men with romance in their hearts. Blondes, brunettes, redheads. That'll be $5.
Strong, strong is the line of ambition that will lead you to become a great actress. That'll be $3, dear.
For those born under the sign of Taurus today will bring many opportunities. What month were you born in, mister? Find your place among the stars, how to improve your financial condition. Come on, lady. Let the stars pick a husband for you.
No, thanks. I just got rid of one.
Listen, you can't sell that trash here.
This is a free country, isn't it?
That's what the taxpayers think. Beat it. You're honing in on Madame Jarman's territory.
Listen, buddy, I got a license and I'm sticking right here.
Yogi Adram, $35.
Hey, wait a minute, Jenner. He's $10 short. What's he trying to put something over?
No, he'll make it up.
Bazell Detective Agency, Bazell speaking. Oh, hello, Maurice. Oh, he is he? We'll take care of him. Slim has a chiseler trying to cut in on Madame Jarman's business. Get rid of him. Take Dummy with you.
Come on, let's go. Right now?
She's paying for protection, ain't she?
Oh, heck. Just when I was beginning to get the right feel on art.
What month were you born, mister? What's the matter?
Gotta hand it to Taylor and Bazell. They certainly give us all-around protection.
For the 10% we kick in, they should. Give me a cigarette.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah?
A couple of guys mopped up on the horoscope peddler. Up down to the emergency hospital and see what you can get out of him.
Right.
I can write that story without leaving this office. A couple of guys I never saw before came in and beat me up for no reason at all. Never fails. One run-in with the fortune-telling mob, and a guy's a clam from then on.
Yeah, but even clams open up if they're steamed enough. How'd you make out with Lady Cray?
50 to 1 he didn't, and 100 to 1 he got a sock in the puss.
He's right all the way around.
Oh, that's a beauty. Hey, you should have used the Ryan technique. My dear Lady Biffington Cray, I have the honor of welcoming to these shores the flower of British beauty.
Ryan, your technique is colossal. Trot down to the city jail and try it out in a couple of Morell's cuties. They've only thrown out 3 reporters, but to a man of your attainments...
Clifton, I shall outdo myself. Bring back a little gem.
Oh.
We want out! We want out!
Pipe down! Pipe down!
Try and make us.
We want out! We want out! We want out!
Quiet. Aren't we, ladies? Or ain't we?
Say, what's Morell doing? Eating his box lunch?
Where's our lawyer?
Where's our bail?
There ain't gonna be any bail. Morell skipped.
Oh.
In that case, turn him loose.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
I'm springing him like you told me to.
I didn't say a word.
You certainly... Oh, so it's you again. See the a ventriloquist.
A what?
She throws her voice.
Oh. Well, pipe down, you.
Pipe down, you. How do you like that? Nice try, Kitty.
Oh, I'd like to get my hands on that Morell, the weasel.
Of all the heels. And me that's flattened my arches for him. Can you imagine a guy taking advantage of 12 ladies? Well, what do we do now? We'll get out of here if I have to tear this tinware down. Hey, get me a lawyer. I want a lawyer. A lawyer. A lawyer.
Quiet, are we ladies or ain't we?
Well,
What a deplorable sight.
well, What's wrong with me?
Nothing. I'd say you were perfect. I was referring to this travesty on justice. It's monstrous. You ladies shouldn't be in here.
You're telling us. We want out.
Well, you will be. Just leave it to me.
How much is it going to cost us?
Not a cent. As an attorney, I couldn't take a penny from you ladies. It would weigh on my mind.
Say, you're a regular guy.
Gee, you're swell. Thanks, handsome.
Now, if you'll tell me in your own little words exactly what happened.
Well, we were in the midst of our dream number when the cops barged in,
And I was standing in the wings when they grabbed me.
They hauled me out of my dressing
Well, now,
room.
wait a minute. Not all at once. Let's take it easy. Supposing we start with you. What's your name?
Judy Allen.
Judy Allen?
I'm not in the number. I do a dramatic skit.
Oh, an actress, huh?
Yes. And you're a reporter. Look, girls, the Daily Sun.
Well, wait a minute, girls. I can explain everything.
Oh, we wouldn't think of starting anything much.
But I was only
Yeah, you
trying to
won't.
joke.
Yeah, oh, you were, eh? Well, you can joke. Whoa! Yeah!
Lay off the rough stuff, wise guy.
Say, listen, Ryan, you can't start a riot in here.
What's the idea of picking on those kids?
Did you ever try picking on a buzzsaw?
Oh, save it. Come on, get out of here.
I have a heart, fellas. I gotta get my story.
Ah, shut up or I'll slam you in a cell.
Thanks, pal, for helping me out. You guys better get out the welcome mat, because I'll be back with a special pass from the DA.
Come on.
And I'm not at all surprised at what you told me, Mrs. Wharton. You're just one of the victims of a ring of fortune tellers and spurious stock promoters who have bilked the public of millions.
But I just have to get that money back, Mr. Redwine. It's all the money I have in the world.
Rest assured, Mrs. Wharton, that I'll do everything I can to help you.
Well, thank you.
Goodbye. Brady.
Yes, sir?
Take care of Mrs. Wharton, will you, please? Oh, well, don't we knock anymore?
I'm sorry. Hi, Brady. Hi, Infant.
Oh, what's on your mind?
Well, I want you to do me a favor.
Again?
Yeah.
Shoot.
I want a special pass to see the Morell girls.
Why do you need a pass? You never had any trouble getting into jail before.
Well, believe it or not, I was just in there. And the minions of the law threw me out.
Who can blame them? And I'm not interested. I have more important things on my mind.
What's the matter? Is your golf off again?
Go on, be funny. That fortune-telling crowd's giving me gray hairs.
Well, that's not news.
No, but I feel like a heel when nice women, like the one that just left, are being taken for every dime they own by that bunch, and I can't get enough evidence to pin it on them. Every investigator on my staff's had a crack at it.
Well, that's just it. Every fortune teller in town knows them by... Hey, wait a minute. I know how you can get your evidence, and I can get a whale of a story to boot.
Yeah?
All we have to do is go into the fortune-telling business.
Oh, I'm in no mood for gags.
It's not a gag. Was I pulling a gag when I gave you the dope on the Kransky case? Was I kidding when I helped you on the Blake murder? Huh?
All right, shoot. And this better be good.
Well, first we release a couple of the Morell girls. One of them is an actress. Unless I'm wrong, she's got plenty of nerve. We set her up as a fortune teller in a swanky layout. Make no effort to contact the ring. Let them come to her.
Mm-hmm. Then what?
Well, then she... And that's all you have to do.
Oh, no, not me. I'm not getting mixed up with any racketeers.
Well, you don't have to be afraid. You'll be protected all the way.
The answer is still no.
Listen, Judy. You want to make good as an actress, don't you?
And what's that got to do with
It's
it?
got plenty to do with it. Think of all the publicity you'll get. You'll be famous. Every paper in the country will carry a full-page picture of you. And what a picture. Oh, I mean it. I'm sincere. You'll be swamped with radio offers and movie contracts. Your name will be a
You make it sound awfully attractive. But no.
All right. Throw away your chance to hit the front page. Throw away the biggest story of the year.
I'm sorry. I'd like to help you.
Oh, that's all right. It's all right. It's all right. There are plenty of girls that would jump at the opportunity. But you wouldn't only be helping me, you'd be helping your girlfriends, too.
Well, I don't see how.
Play ball and Redwine will have the case dismissed. Otherwise, it's 90 days. 90 days. Long time, huh?
All right. I guess I'm your fortune teller.
I knew I picked a winner. Honey, you and I are going to
We're going to be very businesslike.
Yes, we're going to be very businesslike. Hey, Sergeant.
Rags to riches in one easy jump.
This way, children.
Thanks for cutting me in, Judy. I just brought you along for protection.
From now on, that's you.
My, what a chummy little place.
Here's where you hang out.
If I do, I'll choose my own companions. You gotta get rid of old sourpuss.
He's just part of the build-up. Wait till you see the rest of the setup. Right in there. And here's where you do your acting. Hand out spiels to the customers.
We've given you all the tricks of the trade to work with. This keyboard controls all the gadgets.
Woo!
The most important part of the setup is this. It starts a motion picture camera and a recording machine, which is wired to hidden microphones in this room. It'll give us evidence that'll hold up in any court.
Come along, I'll show you how the camera works.
Not me. I'm gonna stay right here. So if any ghosts start walking, I can start running.
And every word spoken in the seance room is recorded on this disc. Now, this camera takes a picture of anyone near your table in there.
And then it won't bite you. All you have to do with the little fellow is feed him film.
But what if they look in this direction?
Well, they won't see a thing. It's a special kind of glass. From here, we can see them, but on the other side, it looks like a perfectly plain wall. Oh, watch Kitty. Nothing happens, eh?
I am Chief Juanote, dead 150 years. I come to you through the mists of time, from the happy hunting grounds I call, to warn you of impending doom, lest you heed my message. I am Chief Juanote, dead 150 years. I come to you through the mists of time, from the happy hunting grounds I call, to warn you of impending doom, Edward.
Poor kitty, it's really got her going.
Yeah, I better go in and shut those things off.
I think you'd better.
I see two figures strolling in the moonlight. You and a man. He's tall, broad-shouldered, handsome. He takes you in his arms, crushes you in his embrace. His lips draw nearer. He comes closer, closer, closer. Boy, what a kiss.
Think I'll get by?
You're terrific. Our first customer. Maybe it's my phantom lover.
Not unless he pops out of the mouthpiece.
Heidi speaking.
Hello, Judy. Any business?
No. No customers yet.
Well, don't worry, they'll be around. I will, too, just as soon as I call my girlfriend, Phoebe Sawyer.
And I always say, Aunt Phoebe, it's a long trip, but I wouldn't miss your birthday celebration for anything.
And I left a very important business deal to make the trip. And I should be in New York, but
But you're afraid the others would get ahead of you.
Oh, Phoebe Sawyer, you know we're just thinking of you.
Stop trying to hoodwink me, Abby. The only thing you're thinking about is my 40 million. Now, go on home. I'm getting tired.
Hello.
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 Salutations. And birthday greetings, O Queen.
Thank you, Joe. Now, run along, everybody. I have important business with this young man. I'll see you all next year.
Hi, John. Yes? By the way, young lady, I ought to sue you for damages. I never miss scratching the door of my car on that darn hitching post of yours. Why don't you get rid of it? Or do you honestly believe the automobile will never replace the horse?
That hitching post stays put. It's been there 60 years.
Yes, that's just the trouble. Everything in this house has been here for 60 years. Why don't you move uptown to some nice modern place where you can be comfortable and see people?
What people? All my friends are dead and gone. And my relatives. I loathe them. Hanging around like vultures, waiting for me to die.
Well, it isn't safe for you way out here. It's too isolated.
Joe, I've been driving people off for years, just trying to be isolated. And now I've succeeded. Nobody comes here but the tradesmen.
And me.
And you. And that's just the way I want it to be. Ah, Amontillado 93. Now we'll really celebrate my birthday.
Well, Phoebe, how about your annual message to the world? Shall I print the usual? Take care of your pennies and...
And your relatives will take care of your dollars, if you let them. But don't print that. Joe.
Huh?
What's the real lowdown on that Chandler divorce case?
Lowdown?
You know very well what I mean. The choice bits you couldn't print.
You're an old scandalmonger. Here goes.
Enter, sir.
I'd like to see Heidi.
Will thou be seated?
Thanks.
Thy name, sir?
I thought maybe Heidi could tell me that.
Welcome to the portals of the future, O seeker of truth. Within lies the answer to the eternal riddle. And through the lips of Heidi, the seventh daughter of a seventh daughter, will issue forth the portent of the stars, the image of the crystal. Oh!
Oh, a ventriloquist, huh? Not bad either.
Bad. I panicked them on the Kansas circuit.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Where's Heidi?
Within.
Enter. Welcome to the fount of all knowledge. Let your troubled spirit be free. Ask and you shall be answered. Seek and you shall find. Here in this mystic crystal, the powers of light and darkness mingle to reflect your future.
Let me reflect your future. I see a girl coming to this town and going into business without consulting the right people. The crystal tells me she doesn't understand that those people must be taken in on the deal. In this town, there are certain people who can make it either very easy or very tough for her. If she doesn't play ball, I see a lot of unpleasant things happening to her. But if she does as she is told, I see her getting away with anything she wants to and keeping out of trouble. Have I made myself clear?
Not quite.
All right, I'll talk turkey. You catch a sucker. Maybe there's a squawk. That's where we come in. We have a nice little organization to take care of everything, including competition. But it costs money.
I see what you mean, but I don't see why I should pay anybody to help me run my own business.
You won't have any business unless you're on our list.
Well, that doesn't give me much choice, does it? How much?
$500 initiation fee and 10% of your take.
Isn't that pretty steep?
Not for a swanky spot like this.
Very well. But I haven't the money here. I'll have to go to the bank.
Smart girl. We'll get along. I'll be back in a couple of hours. Oh, and about that 10%. Don't forget we have a way of knowing how much you take in. I'll see you later.
And Jenner has a private detective license. He works for a fellow by the name of Mo Bazell, who runs a fly-by-night detective agency. So Bazell must be handling the collecting end of the racket.
Did you have him arrested?
No, that would only tip my hand. I'm after bigger game than either one of them.
And I was complimenting myself on catching a big shot.
Judy, in this case, we're going to have to dig for the big shot. But don't be disappointed, because every little shot leads to a bigger shot right up to the top.
I wonder if any of my family like me for myself, or whether I'm just a suspicious old woman.
Oh, of course they do, Mrs. Sawyer. But wanting money does funny things to people.
I suppose so. But whether they do or whether they don't, I'll never find out.
You could if you wanted to. I've been going to a marvelous man.
More fortune tellers. Alice, you always were soft in the head. Get me my slippers.
But this one is different. He's told me the most marvelous things. He said there was going to be a marriage in my family. And sure enough, my sister Minnie, she's 10 years older than I am, up and found herself a man. And if that isn't wonderful, I'd like to know what is.
Alice, you ought to have your head examined. Wasting your money on fortune tellers.
But I'm not wasting money. And Marvin isn't a fortune teller. He's a psychic reader. And he's stone blind. That's why he's so sensitive to vibrations. Mortal sight can't confuse his inner eye.
Inner eye twaddle. Go on now. I want to close my outer eyes. What's this Marvin's address?
I thought you said it was twaddle.
If I said it was twaddle, it's bound to be twaddle. Bring me the oldest dress I have. I don't want him to see I have money.
But he can't see.
Well, he doesn't have to see. He can probably smell money.
Good afternoon.
I want to see Mr. Marvin.
He usually takes clients by appointment only.
Young man, I never make appointments. I mean, I didn't think about it.
You're fortunate. He happens to be at leisure at the moment. Step in, please. Right this way.
Come in.
Lady to see you, sir.
How do you do? Will you be seated?
Thank you.
I'm at your disposal, madam. Do you wish advice on some particular problem, or do you prefer a general reading?
Just general. What method do you use?
I usually read the palms. The lines are graven there by fate and cannot lie.
How can you read my palm when you can't see?
My fingertips are my eyes, madam.
Oh.
First, I must become attuned to your vibrations. On that table, you will find a pencil and a slip of paper. Kindly write your name. After you have written your name, tear the slip of paper up into small pieces and put them in your purse.
Phoebe Sawyer.
Mr. Taylor's office.
Marvin calling. Give me a report on Phoebe Sawyer.
Just a moment, please. Sawyer, Mrs. Phoebe, 401 West Bowling Green. Rating 4A+.
4A+. Husband Herbert, Died May 1932.
Hadn't you better begin? My future will be here before you tell me about it.
You shouldn't be so impatient, Mrs. Sawyer.
How did you know my name?
You transmitted it by a simple vibration that any trained mind can pick up.
Fiddlesticks.
I should ask you to leave. But I'll excuse your rudeness because of the double sorrow you have borne. The death of your husband, Herbert, 6 years ago, and the loss of your only son, Walter, in the wreck of the Marathon. And now, Mrs. Sawyer, I must bid you good day. You have broken the psychic link between us.
But I want to know.
If you'll come back in a day or two, when you're in a more receptive frame of mind, I'll tell you what you wish to know.
Thank you.
Ernie, see that this is served right away.
Right.
Marvin just asked for this report. I thought I'd better call it to your attention.
Phoebe Sawyer. Get me Mr. Whitmore.
Yes, sir.
Fairview, 5914. Taylor calling.
Thank you. Hello, Taylor. Yes. Phoebe Sawyer. That is good news. I never thought she'd fall for the mumbo-jumbo. Now listen, Taylor. Tell Marvin to come to my office tonight. She's too big a fish for him to handle alone. And tell Goshen she's not to be sold any stock. Very well. Goodbye.
Mr. Goshen. Taylor called up and said if an old dame by the name of Sawyer comes in to lay off. And, Miles is waiting to see you.
What, again?
Yeah, I couldn't get rid of him.
Well, Mr. Miles, I'm glad to see you.
You won't be when I get through talking. Listen, Goshen, that Streamlight stock is no good. You've got to take it back.
I wouldn't be doing you a favor if I did. I have some confidential news. That stock is going way up.
Well, that's just dandy. You buy back my shares and make the profit when they rise.
I can't do business that way.
I know how you do business. You and Madame Jarman are in cahoots, but you're not going to get away with it. Either you give me my money back or I go to the police.
Mr. Miles, now I know exactly how you feel, but as a favor to me, give me a couple of days. And then if that stock doesn't go up, I'll gladly take it off your hands. Fair enough?
All right, Goshen. But I'm not waiting any longer than that.
He's mad enough to bite.
Yeah. Get Bazell. Tell him to muzzle that little terrier.
Right.
Hello.
Mrs. Miles, your husband wants you to pick him up at the corner of 7th and Blaine.
Oh, I'm right in the middle of cutting out a dress. Tell him to take a cab. Oh, all right, I'll come over. Say, who is this? Hello? Hello? George. George, you know I don't mind if you take a few drinks, but... George. George, what's the matter with you? George, what's happened? George!
They told me to keep my mouth shut. Or they'd be back.
Oh, George! Oh, help! Help!
I've told you repeatedly to warn Bazell against going too far. He's a careless, incompetent fool. And fools are dangerous to my organization.
It's not as bad as it looks. Miles must have died without talking, or the police would have grabbed Slim and Dummy this morning.
Well, let's hope you're right. But tell Goshen and Madame Jarman that if they're questioned, to stick to the same story they have in the past.
Can't you pick up Goshen and the fortune tellers and make them talk?
Oh, they'll talk all right, and we'll get the same old story. The fortune tellers never heard of Goshen. Goshen simply made a legitimate stock deal. You'll never get the murderers that way.
It's going to be a toughie, Chief. Even Mrs. Miles hasn't the faintest idea who'd want to bump up her husband.
Hey, suppose there was another George Miles.
What are you talking about?
Well, suppose I did exactly as Miles did. Go to Goshen, tell him Heidi sent me, buy some stock, and then I'll raise a terrific squawk. Whoever took care of Miles will try to take care of me.
That's a good idea, Joe.
You darn tootin'.
Only you won't be the guinea pig.
Hold everything. This is my idea, my act, and my story.
All right, Joe. If you want to write your own obituary, go right ahead.
It'll be a good one. But don't start saving your pennies for flowers.
Excuse me, I'll be right with you.
All right.
Anybody taking care of you, sir?
No, I want to invest in some mining stock.
Well, you couldn't do better. Step right inside, won't you?
All right.
Won't you sit down?
Yes, thank you.
Did you have any particular stock in mind?
Well, I know it sounds silly, but, well, I went to a fortune teller. Do you ever go to fortune tellers?
No, never do.
No? Oh, I wouldn't make a single move without first consulting Heidi. She's wonderful.
Well, I suppose she is.
She said something about my looking into a stock. It starts with an S and has 11 letters.
Oh, let's see. It starts with an S. Saddle Mountain? No, that has too many letters. Spear Ridge?
No, that has 10.
Mm-hmm. Streamlight? That has 11.
Yeah, and she said something about seeing a light.
Uh-huh. Well, there it is, 25 cents a share.
25 cents?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cheap.
How large a block do you want?
Could I have $1,000 worth?
Yes, I think so. And a very good stock, too.
Yes, that's what Heidi said.
Ooh.
Hello, buddy.
Joe. Say, I got some nice pictures of Jenner.
Really?
He was over here and gave me $100. My share for sending you to Goshen. Here it is.
Good. That ties up Goshen, Bazell, and the fortune tellers but tight. Take care of this, will you? The DA's office has been busy, too. They traced the money you gave Jenner and found that it had been deposited by mail in a dummy account. Some name like Baylock.
The merry-go-round goes round and round.
Yes, and here's where you and I give it a little shove. I want you to call the number Jenner gave you for legal advice. Thank you. Tell him I'm here, raising a terrific squawk.
But aren't you sticking your neck out?
Yeah, I probably am, but I'm banking on ducking fast.
But, Joe,
Now, none of that. Remember, we have a bargain with Redwine, and we're going to keep it.
And I feel very sure, Professor, that these specimens will prove to be a valuable addition to the museum collection. Very truly yours. Oh, hello, Marvin. Come in, come in. Jack, chair.
Thank you, my dear. I have some good news for you. I believe Mrs. Sawyer is ready.
You're to be complimented. I hardly expected results so soon.
I am rather pleased with myself. But after all, she's a woman and couldn't resist the maternal instinct.
I didn't think she'd be the exception. Now, this is what I planned. Have Mrs. Sawyer announce that she's taking a trip for her health. Send her to a remote island in the South Pacific on a slow freighter. That will give Taylor plenty of time to liquidate her assets.
I thought this was between you and me. Why cut Taylor in?
Because our success depends entirely on using Mrs. Sawyer's power of attorney. And it'll be less liable to arouse suspicion if it's presented by a lawyer.
But what assurance have I that you and Taylor won't tease me out?
You have my personal word. Isn't that sufficient?
It was rather foolish of me to bring it up. After all, I could upset your plans very easily.
You won't have any reason to.
I'm glad we understand each other. Mrs. Sawyer is calling on me this afternoon. I'll get things started.
Jack, see Mr. Marvin to the door.
I don't care if you are a lawyer. I don't care if you're a detective or the whole police force. I'm going to plant myself right here till I get my $1,000 back. Do I get it now or do I have to wait for it?
May I point out that my client did not sell you the stock?
But she told me to buy it, and it's phony.
Mr. Drake, I did not tell you to buy it. I merely received a spiritual message and passed it on to you.
Now, don't try to talk your way out of it. If I don't get my money back, I'll rip this joint apart, and I got a notion to start right now.
Wait a minute. If you get tough, I'll run you in.
You can't shove me around. I know my rights. I'll go to the district attorney's office.
Do that, and you'll have a suit on your hands for defamation of character.
I'm sorry about the stock, but why take it out on me? After all, you did it of your own free will, you know.
Maybe I did.
And maybe it will go up.
Why, sure. I've seen mining stock go sky high overnight. All they have to do is hit a vein and zoom.
Well, maybe you are right. I'm going to have a talk with Goshen.
Please wait, Mr. Drake. Wouldn't you hate to get rid of your stock and then find you'd lost a big profit?
Huh?
Let me tell your fortune again.
I can't see any point in that.
Free this time.
Free?
Yes, come on.
All right. What can I lose?
Now you're talking, young fellow.
Good. I'm glad you people got together. Well, shall we run along?
Yeah. Bye.
Goodbye. I'm very glad of an opportunity to prove my good faith. I always try to interpret the spiritual messages clearly. I thought surely they'd catch on. You should have seen your face when Jenna walked in.
Well, I certainly didn't expect to see him. It almost threw me. Oh, you better turn off the camera. And I think I'll have to kick up a rumpus at Goshen's to really get action.
Maybe you'll get more than you're looking for.
Oh, forget it, honey. I can take care of myself.
There's something fishy about that guy.
All saps are funny.
He didn't look like a sap to me. And if a guy's been burned up like he let on, he'd beat it right over to Goshen's. I'm going to stick around.
Go ahead and waste your time. I'm going back to the office. Now.
I'm not going to argue any more about it.
Drake, just a minute. Let's talk this over.
Talk it over with the district attorney.
Hello, Joe. Glad to see you.
Well,
long time no see, Joe. Where you been keeping yourself?
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think I know either one of you fellas.
Oh, you remember us. Wait a minute.
Just take it easy.
Say, I never saw you guys before. You've made a mistake.
We didn't. You did. When you planted those cops at that fake address you gave Goshen.
You're all wrong, I tell you.
Quit stalling, Ryan. Your act didn't get over. We found out you're a reporter, and we're going to fix it up so you can hit the front page.
Yes, but...
Slim, I think there's a car following us.
Get a move on. Duck into the next side street.
Come on, the ass crank. Come on, you guys. The party's over. All Oh, we ain't done nothing.
Not
much.
No.
Got to attempt kidnapping and destroy our city property.
Who are you?
From the district attorney's office. Take these men down and book them.
Right. Come on. You two.
Hello, Ryan.
Brady. Say, you've earned a place in the Ryan Hall of Fame. Tell me, how did you happen to...
We didn't happen. We've been trailing you ever since you left Redwine's office. Sure, you know, it's part of our job to take care of infants.
Yeah, I know. So long, Nursey.
Now, I'll give you one more chance to come clean. Who ordered you to beat up Miles?
I told you I never heard of the guy.
Why should we beat up on anyone? We're detectives, and we got a license to prove it.
Sure, all we know is we work for Bazell, see?
Well, what were you doing with Ryan? Taking him for a little spin in the park?
Yeah, down to Westlake to look at the swans.
Listen, Chief. Let me crack down on this guy.
Go ahead, but we're only talking to our mouthpiece, Ray Taylor.
Go ahead. Get him out of here.
Come on.
Why didn't you let Brady go to work on him?
I might have, if he hadn't mentioned Taylor.
Since when do you duck attorneys?
Well, I'm ducking this one. He's the shining legal light for the whole outfit.
How do you know that?
We checked up on Jenner's playmate, and he works for Taylor. The minute Taylor misses his pals, he'll be down with a writ of habeas corpus.
Holy smoke, you can't let him go. It'd be like sending an engraved invitation to the rest of the boys to scram.
Now, don't get excited. Nobody's getting to these mugs until I get evidence against Taylor, Bazell, and whoever they're working for.
Well, why don't you put him in the zoo? One with the kind face looks like he just fell out of a tree.
Stop kidding. I'm hanging on to these apes if I have to put them in the psychopathic ward.
Hey, what's wrong with that? That's a great idea. A couple of days in there would make the Sphinx talk.
Will you clear out of here and let us sleep?
We didn't get a wink last night. Some guy kept yelling he was sitting bull.
Any disturbance last night?
Why, no, sir.
What?
You heard voices?
Well, I heard something.
Here's voices. Any other traces of insanity in your family?
Well, I had an uncle once who... no, there haven't been any.
These cases call for the tepid bath treatment.
But nobody's going to give me a bath. I'm getting out of here.
Here, you can't do that. Get back here. Taylor Rope Springers, keep your shirt on.
Never mind the shirt. Where's my pants?
Hey, don't get excited.
I ain't excited, but I want to get out of here.
Get out of here.
Hi, boys. Thought we'd find you swinging from the chandelier.
Funny guy. Maybe it won't be so funny when we get out.
Oh, Mr. Redwine, tell these guys we ain't crazy, will you?
That is a matter of opinion. Acute hysteria, manic depressive. And now I must look in on some of my other patients.
Well, boys, you ready to give?
Listen, it's a smart move, but you can't keep Taylor away from us forever.
Well, I can sure try.
Well, why keep us here? You know we ain't cracked.
We figure you must be, both of you, to let your pals double-cross you.
The old copper line.
It still happens. If you don't think they tipped us off, why was Brady right on the job when you picked up Ryan?
Wise up. Can't you see your pals are trying to throw the Miles job right in your lap?
Huh?
We ain't talking till we see Taylor.
Well, you're not going to see Taylor. You're sitting right here until you're ready to talk.
Oh, don't leave us here, Mr. Redwine. I can't stand those noises.
Shut up and take it easy.
I don't think we can get much out of Slim. But Dummy, he's on the ragged edge.
One more night ought to do it. Double up on your noises, Doc, and keep up the loony routine.
I'll have my boys give them both barrels.
Yeah, something's haywire. Those guys wouldn't have dropped out of sight without getting in touch with me.
What's keeping Ernie? He's had time to spring a dozen guys.
He probably had to check every substation. He'll find them.
Yeah, I don't like the look of things. If they were picked up for working over that reporter, why wasn't it in the papers? You know what? I think they got him for the Miles job.
You finally got it. What do you think I've been stewing about?
Where are they? What'd you do with them?
Don't tell me you couldn't serve that writ.
I tried to. I checked every police substation in town, even went to headquarters. Nobody knew who I was talking about.
I know where I can find them. I'm going after that smart reporter.
Use your head. If you go near him, you'll be with Slim and Dummy. We've got to sit tight until Whitmore lands Mrs. Sawyer. Hello, Hobbs.
Hello.
Keep after this writ. Come on over here, Hobbs. Sit down. Take a good look at that signature. I want you to put it on a power of attorney.
Phoebe Sawyer. I never thought I'd have the privilege of duplicating that signature.
Be sure to have the curtains dry cleaned, send the blankets to laundry, and pay off all the servants. I'll let you know in plenty of time when I'll be back so that you can give the house a good airing.
Yes, madam.
Imagine being all packed and not knowing where you're going or why. It's the craziest thing I've ever done.
It's the wisest thing you've ever done. In Marvin's blindness, he sees many things that no one else
Don't stand there like a hen laying an egg. Get the rest of my things together.
Well, what's all this?
Well, what's it look like? I'm going away.
Going away? Where? Why?
Well, I'm taking a little sea trip for my health.
What's the matter, Phoebe?
Why, it's nothing serious. It's my chest.
Sweetheart, you're up to something.
The idea. Can't a body be sick without you suspecting?
Now, there's nothing wrong with you. You're a picture of perfect health. Now, come on, give me all the dirt. I've given you plenty.
Well, it's really a secret, but you promise not to say anything?
Promise?
You know, Joe, I've never really believed my son was drowned. And just recently, I found out I may be right. He's been wandering through the years in a fog of forgetfulness. And Marvin has assured me that by taking this trip, I'll find him.
Marvin? Phoebe, I'd rather cut off my right arm than hurt you. I can't let you go on this wild goose chase. Marvin's a faker.
Couldn't be, Joe. He told me all about Walter and about my husband.
But everybody knows that. It's public knowledge.
Well, maybe it is. But how did he know me? I haven't been seen in public for 20 years, and I haven't had a picture taken in that time. And yet I hadn't been in his place 2 minutes before he called me by name. Answer me that.
I can't. I'm not a fortune teller. But they have ways of finding out those things.
But why should he send me away?
I can't answer that either. I do know he's after your money.
I can't believe it. All he'd accept was a check for $25. He said after I find Walter, I could give him anything I wanted to.
Don't you suppose he knows how you feel about Walter? He's taking advantage of it. Things like that are a fortune teller's stock in trade. That's how they get to hundreds of people.
I'm probably a silly old woman, but I still have a feeling I'll find my son.
Phoebe. The district attorney and I are trying to break up a ring of fake fortune tellers, and Marvin is on the list. You're in a great spot to help us.
I'd hate to do anything to hurt my chance of finding Walter.
You won't have to. If I'm wrong about Marvin, I'll personally charter a plane and see that you catch the boat at the first port of call.
You always did know how to get around me.
I'll bet Mr. Marvin knows what you're up to.
One bleat out of you and I'll... Oh, sorry to kept you waiting, Mr. Marvin.
It's quite all right. It's been a great honor to serve you. Here are the instructions I worked out. If they are followed, they will lead you to your son.
Thank you. And rest assured, you will be well rewarded for your efforts.
I'm sure you'll have a very pleasant voyage. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Marvin. Come on. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
There you are.
Hurry up, sweetheart. I've got to smuggle you through the cargo port.
Joe Ryan, you'd better be right. A woman my age scooting around corners like a jackrabbit. Then where to?
My apartment. You're staying there tonight. And if I remember correctly, you'll find 2 bottles there that read Amontillado 93.
Well, what are we waiting for?
The headache.
I've checked the banks where you have accounts, Mrs. Sawyer, and Taylor's contacted them all. Now, it's obvious that he intends to transfer your negotiable assets into a dummy holding company and liquidate them. Well, it's a simple plan.
It's outrageous. I can't understand how they expected to carry it through.
From their angle, they were absolutely in the clear. They think that you're safely out of the country. And Marvin's murder...
Murder? Well, the paper said he was drowned accidentally.
Well, the ones who killed him wanted it to seem that way. As though he'd fallen and hit the back of his head on the pier.
But we found one of his rubber heels caught in a crack, not 2 feet from the edge. If he had stumbled, he'd have fallen clear. He was murdered because...
Mr. Taylor to see you.
Just a moment. Send him in. Good afternoon, Mr. Taylor.
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry to have asked you to come back this late, but there's a certain amount of routine.
I understand.
May I have the power of attorney? I'm sorry to lose accounts like Mrs. Sawyer's, but...
You unprincipled scoundrel. You ought to be tarred and feathered, horsewhipped within an inch of your life. And if my husband were alive...
Hold on, Phoebe. We got something worse than that. About 50 years to think it over.
Is this your signature, Mrs. Sawyer?
It is. But I didn't write it.
Taylor, you're under arrest. All right, Brady.
Come on.
Thank you, Mrs. Sawyer. You've done us a great service. And I'm deeply sorry that they took advantage of anything so close to you as...
Take me home, Joe.
Careful, Nate.
I'm sorry, boss, but I'm jittery. I keep thinking how Marvin looked when I let him have it. Kind of accused him like he was putting a curse on me.
Don't tell me you're getting jittery at this stage in your career.
Me? No. Yeah, but them mystic guys do have a way of coming back from the grave. Last night, I swear I saw him sitting on the foot of my bed.
My dear Nate, what you need is something for your liver.
That's what the bartender told me when I... Oh.
I thought I told you never to come here.
I had to. I was just over to Taylor's office and everybody's disappeared. Taylor, Ernie, and the switchboard girl.
Oh, it's Marvin reaching back from the top.
Now calm down and make sense.
It don't make sense. The place is as clean as a whistle. Even the files are gone.
It makes sense to me. Taylor couldn't resist those bank accounts. But I can't see him cutting in his whole staff.
Yeah, that's not it. The same thing must have happened to them as happened to Slim and Dummy.
What about Slim and Dummy?
Well, they've disappeared.
Nate, get the car. Now, stop going around in circles and come to the point.
Well, it all started when Heidi sent a guy named Joe Ryan to Goshen's. Taylor and I found out he was a newspaper reporter and figured he was nosing around the Miles case.
So, you and Taylor thought you could figure things for yourselves. Didn't you realize that I've been doing your thinking for years? I suppose it never occurred to you to check up on the girl.
Why should we? She paid her dough. We thought she was the right guy.
Bazell, that's a monument to your stupidity. Obviously, Ryan and the girl are working together. Now we've got to find out whether it's just for the newspaper or if the police are in on it. Jack, get Jenner on the phone. Now understand this, Bazell, and get this straight.
Don't mind me. I've just got one neck to give for the dear old son.
Listen, Clifton's office said to get down in a hurry, and that's what I'm doing. Kitty, I bet they've rounded up the whole bunch.
I was just wondering. What? If the big shot's tall, dark, and handsome, or just plain gorilla.
What's the idea? Why don't you look where you're going? Can't you see the signal?
It wasn't our fault. The car behind bumped right into it.
Oh, yeah? That's what they all say.
You wait here.
Look at my truck. That's going to cost you.
Look at our car. That's going to cost you.
Oh, yeah? Want to get tough about it?
Yeah, I want to get tough about it.
Here, you can't talk to ladies like that. I'm terribly sorry. My driver was entirely at fault.
See? What'd we tell you?
I'll be very glad to pay for all the damage.
Thank you.
That's all right with me.
Gee, it really is a relic now.
We'll never get downtown on time.
Well, I'm on my way to my office. I'll be very glad to give you a lift.
Well, that's very nice of you, but I can't leave this silly thing sitting here, can I?
If you're in a hurry, lady, I'll have the Triangle Garage pick up your car.
Thanks. Come on.
You must come up for tea sometime. Bye.
Thank you. I will.
Yeah?
Hello, Redwine. I'm at Judy's, and the girls are gone. Oh, she's not out somewhere. Judy had a date with me. Somebody's been up here and smashed the records and ripped out the mic. And those girls are in a jam.
Well, don't get panicky. We'll find them. I'll send out a general alarm.
Well, I know how to get quicker action than that. You jump in your car and pick me up.
All right, Nate.
You let us out of here, or I'll yell my head off. Why, you can't get away with this. We're due down at the Sun now, and if we don't show up, they'll start looking for us.
Oh, no, they won't. We called you. Well, you needn't be alarmed. I just wanted to talk with you.
I've been expecting that pleasure for some time, but not quite this way.
We know that you two have been working with Joe Ryan. I want an answer to a simple question. Are the police in on it? Very well. Then I'll come directly to the point. I've built up a business with an annual income of over $1 million. And I'll go to any length to protect my investment. However, I'm willing to pay you $10,000 to tell me how much the police know.
You'll have to ask them.
Saying no is my specialty.
$10,000 should be a lot of money to you girls. But I'll double it.
Not interested.
Me too.
Very well. But I think you'll change your mind shortly.
Just remember, dummy, we took you out of that straitjacket, but we can put you right back in it.
Well, I won't cross you up. I'd rather hang than go back to that daffy joint.
Save it. Go on in.
Where have you been? What happened to you?
The cops grabbed us, stuck us in a hotel, but I outsmarted them. I give a window cleaner $100 to get me out.
You dimwit. What'd you come here for? Why didn't you lay low?
Well, I needed getaway dough, and you better lamb out of here, too. The cops are wise for the whole works.
I guess Taylor couldn't take it. Hello, let me speak to Whitmore. Well, give me secretary, then.
Trace that call.
Hello, Jack. This is Bazell. When Whitmore comes in, tell him to get rid of those girls and head for the tall timber. Taylor's talked, and Dummy's made a getaway.
Keep talking. Go ahead. You only make it tougher on yourself.
Hello. Are you in a jam? No, there's nothing wrong. Tell Whitmore not to worry about the files. I'll get rid of them.
Now hang up.
That's about it.
That call was to Lionel Whitmore, 487 Gaviota Drive. That's out toward the ocean.
Notify the sheriff's office and Central Station.
Yes, sir.
You outsmarted him, you dope.
Who's that dope?
Man's right.
Hey, wait a minute. Keep going and step on it.
Can't believe Taylor talked. Are you sure it was Bazell that you spoke with?
Sure, I'm sure. And he was all excited. Talked like he was on a spot.
We asked for it and we got it. We should have never tangled with the old lady.
That's over and done with, Jenner. We're lucky to have an out.
Calling car 14. Go to 5864 Burnsdale. T8. That is all. McCarthy. Calling all cars covering 487 Gaviota. Whitmore gone. Be on the lookout for blue limousine. Calling all cars. Be on the lookout for blue limousine carrying 2 women and 2 or more men. Wanted for homicide. Dangerous. Be careful.
We better ditch the car and
Make that baby road so tight we'll never get through.
We won't have to. I know a spot where they'll never think of looking for us. We can remain there until things quiet down. Nate, turn right at the next intersection.
No lights, no gas, no phone, no anything. How am I going to get your dinner?
Huh? Don't want any. I'm going to bed. That must be Joe. He'll never be satisfied till he tears that hitching post out by the roots.
Get out. Nate, you remain with us. Jenna, get rid of the car. Take it up the coast and wait for us at the harbor.
With that dragnet out?
You'll make it. They're looking for a car with at least 4 people in it.
Well, what? What is this, Halloween?
Shut up. Get back in there.
Calling all cars. Calling all cars. Disregard broadcast number 8. Wrecked limousine picked up in vicinity of Louise and Ventura. That is all. McCarthy.
You heard that, Mac. Step on it.
This place gives me the creeps. Let's get out of here.
Good. Then I can fumigate my house.
You may as well make the best of it, Mrs. Sawyer. You may be our hostess for several days.
Suit yourself. But tomorrow morning, the tradesmen, the servicemen, and all the servants will come trooping in.
Now we gotta get out of here.
Nate, go to the garage and get her car.
You killed Marvin. You won't escape. And his hand will reach back from the grave to point you out.
Nate, get the car.
Get anything out of him?
No, the guy's in bad shape, Mr. Redwine.
Where are the girls?
We didn't see any. He mumbled something about switching cars and heading north and then passed out. So we took a chance that he was talking about Whitmore, and the boys headed that way.
Well, we might as well wait at my office. It'll be ours. Any luck?
None, Chief. Looks like the boys could stand a little target practice. They've wasted a lot of ammunition.
Target practice my eye. I know where that car's been. Come on.
We're stuck. We're stuck. I can't start that jalopy. It ain't been running 20 years.
Jack, give him a hand. He's so jittery he wouldn't know a headlight from a carburetor. I'm sorry to inconvenience you, Mrs. Sawyer, by taking your car, but I assure you we'll give it the best of care.
I'll have to hand it to you, Whitmore. You've led us a merry chase.
Joe. Say, break down Hawkshaw House.
And no cracks about bloodhounds.
And no exaggerations.
Oh, Mr. Ryan, thank you so
Don't
much.
thank me. Thank the little darky on the driveway. I cussed him out plenty for putting his trademark on my car, but when I saw the same mark on Whitmore's car, I called it even Steven.
Boy, that's what I... Oh, my gosh!
Drop it. Get their toys and let's shake this place.
Good work, Nate.
All right, fellas, let's have them.
Heed the voice of Marvin. Unhand those weapons. Stain not your hands with blood, lest you join me in the narrow confines of the grave. Stain not your hands with blood.
Never mind that. Nate! Get back.
All right, gentlemen. Shall we go?
Kitty, you're an artist.
Lady, I'm proud to know you.
Nothing to it.